Welcome back to the Citizen channel. We're all staying safe and well. And we have a match preview. Yes, Crystal Palace versus Manchester City, the 14th of March 2022. Yeah, Monday night football. Yeah, that's all we need, isn't it? A trip down to London, 8 o'clock kickoff, get back. Who knows when we get back? Not the easiest place to go, is it? Selhurst Park. 8 p.m. kickoff, of course, as I said. And we're going to do a little preview today. Match day 29. So we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. We're still on top. We're still on top. That's all we can say. That's all. We're still on top after this and still got the same points gap with a victory here, eh? So we're going to have a look at Crystal Palace, how they're doing with their new manager, of course, Mr. VIERA. Well, new. He's been there a while now, hasn't he? He's probably got the lay of the ground by now in their current form. And of course, I'll be trying to predict our starting 11 for this as well. And the match is being shown on Sky Sports main event. So join me as we look forward to this. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button. Push the bell notifications when these vlogs are coming out. City past, present and forever, of course. So there's lots of different little magazine vlogs. So whatever takes your fancy, whether it's something new or something old, something borrowed or something blue, just have a look through my playlists on the Citizen channel. I'm sure there's lots of stuff there to entertain you. And please, if you can give us a little thumbs up, that'd be great. Give us that thumbs up. Do a PEP there in the corner if you can do that for me. And tell your friends, City supporting friends. So get these subscribers up. Make an old blue, very, very happy if you can do that. Right, let's get on with this. Who's in charge? Well, referee, we've got Mr. Martin Atkinson in charge of this game. He's taking charge of his 455th Premier League match. He should retire, shouldn't he, surely? Then again, he's only 50. Yeah, he's only 50. Made his top flight debut in 2004. Was also a game between Crystal Palace and City, strangely enough, coincidentally enough. And he last took charge of City back in December when we thrashed Newcastle 4-0 at St James's Park. So it's been a while. It could have been a lot longer for me, in all fairness. Assistants is Lionel's Lee Betts and Richard West. Fourth official, Simon Hooper. On VAR, we have the wonderfully named, I always like saying it, Jared Gillay, or Gillette, or whichever, Jared Gillay. I call him Gillay. I don't pronounce the T's sharp, but I don't know what they call it. There must be a name for it. Assistant VAR, making the coffee, making the cup of soup, or whatever, Harry Leonard. Previous meetings, of course, well, last time out was at 1st of May 2021, last time out at Selhurst Park, of course. The City team that day, Edison, I was looking at Cancelo then. Edison, Cancelo, new keeper, Cancelo, Laporte, Ake, Mendy, Fernandinho, Rodrigo, Sterling, Torres, Aguero, and Jesus Aguero. Oh dear, where have you gone, mate? City sort of misfired that day until half-time at Selhurst Park. So it's not always our most popular ground, is it? And Palace always looked capable, but two quick goals, in the second half sort of killed it for us, the 57th and 59th minute from Aguero and Torres. And it was enough as Palace struggled to get back in it as we sort of took control, as we can do at that stage. We usually let a team get a goal back at some stage, but we managed to hold on to the 2-0. Our overall record in the league at their place: played 29, won 14, drawn 7 and lost 8. So we're in the positive. That'll do. Let's carry on that. 38 goals scored and 28 against. And please check out my little History Boys feature. Take a look at a game back in February 1985. Steve Coppell was in charge of Crystal Palace. Billy McNeil was in charge of City as we were hunting promotion back to the top flight. A Cannon League Division 2 fixture, so please seek that out and have a watch of that. I enjoy doing those. Lots of good stuff in there as well, so if you can give that a watch, that'd be brilliant. Odds to win the match, please. I don't ever condone gambling when the fun stops. Stop. City are 1-3 on, which isn't the shortest of odds for a City win. A draw is 4-1. You can get it slightly better in another couple of places. Palace are 10-1 to win this game, so please check out my little odd show feature, which usually is put out the day after this goes out. So depending when you're watching this, it might be out. You might have to wait, but please keep your eyes out for that now. And not just throwing prices at you, reasons for it and stuff like that, and see what value we can get. And obviously my charity bet, see what we're doing. A bit of a failure again against the Sporting Lisbon game, for obvious reasons. A 0-0 draw doesn't really go well with putting money down, but hey, that's how it is. So hopefully we'll get back on track for charity this week. How will it pan out then? How will this game pan out? Well, if we had a crystal ball, we'd be sorted, wouldn't we? Or a time machine. VIERA, of course, is probably still eyed to return to City at some stage by some. Managing clubs like Crystal Palace will give him a grounding and sort of give everyone an idea of what sort of manager he is. He seems to be doing a reasonable job, if not spectacular at the moment, since he took on this challenge, of course, right at the start of the season. So he has been there for all the season. They only sit 10th, but they sit 10th, which is fair enough. Obviously, bang on halfway. 1-7 though, only 1-7, but they've drawn 12 and lost 9. So at least they can sort of not get beat, which is a good sign. So it's usually easier to go from not getting beat to turning those into wins, isn't it? In theory, perhaps for new managers and getting used to new teams. And they do also have a quarter-final against Everton to come up, so they've got a great chance of getting to Wembley, haven't they, for a semi-final. If we can beat Southampton, you never know, we might be meeting there as well. Their current league form, not great. It's been a bit mixed, like the season has, as you can see from those stats I just mentioned earlier. The recent form, obviously, going back 6 games, he drew 1-1 at Norwich, he drew 0-0 at Brentford, they lost at home to Chelsea 1-0. They won 4-1 away at Watford. They drew at home to Burnley 1-1. And then last week, they had a very good victory at Wolves, a 2-0 victory at Wolves. So their away form is actually a little bit better than the home form. They've drawn far too many games at home, I think. So of that last 6 games, they've won 2, drawn 3, and lost 1. So they've only lost 1. Player-wise, I mean, is it Guehi? I don't know how you pronounce that. Guehi. That's a good name. Guehi and Anderson have been a pretty good central defensive partnership for him. And Mitchell's been one of the most consistent defenders in the Premier League this season as well. And I think they've got a defender coming back from injury as well. But the guy who's been I think playing on the left has been doing a good job as well. Gallagher, of course, has been doing pretty well. And VIERA seems to be getting the best out of Zaha again, who obviously had a few problems or wanted to leave and stay. But he seems to get a better tune out of Zaha at the moment. And he's scored actually 5 goals in his last 8 appearances. So that's probably a testament to the fact he is playing very well at the moment. So he's always someone we worry about. And obviously we worried about him at the Etihad, didn't we, early in the season? But we might get onto that in a moment. Elise is a right attacking midfielder. Originally, he played for the French under-18s, and he actually can still play for England. So it's believed Southgate is keen on him after a good season so far. And he's been trying to get him to come over to the England camp for a future international. So that'll be interesting for him. Still without midfielder James McArthur, who returned from injury in February, but then got another knock, and that keeps him out of this game. Very unfortunate. And VIERA, obviously Pep's very complimentary about VIERA, and he has been in his press conference. And VIERA said in an interview as well, again complimentary about City and Pep. He said on this game, this is VIERA, a quote from VIERA: "We will face, I believe, one of the best teams in Europe. When you play a team like City, you have to be 9 or 10 out of 10 because of the quality of the team. Of course, you have some moments that have to go in your favour. You have to force those moments. Do what it takes to allow yourselves to win." He goes on to say, "When defending, we can't afford to make mistakes because of the quality of the players they have around. We'll get punished straight away." And revealing his approach, of course, against City, VIERA said, "The game we had at the Etihad was a good collective game, and we'll need to create this kind of performance again. We'll have to be solid, work well, and it's about defending well as a team, and at the same time creating those moments to create chances and score goals. We know we are capable of doing that." There you go. So I said he was flattering on City, but I think he has a little bit of confidence there, and why not? I mean, if you as a manager, if you can't be confident in your team, then why bother? I mean, we were poor against Palace at the Etihad, of course we were, but a lot of it was Palace played very, very well as well. I mean, Zaha caused plenty of problems, and of course it was that Laporte foul on him. Got Laporte sent off just before half-time. That really made it an uphill task for City in this game. Palace were very, very good and frustrated us for most of the game. And as we tried to push for an equaliser, they took full advantage to add a second and possibly kill the game. There's no real coming back from being 2-0 down. The Palace, of course, now more used to VIERA, and perhaps VIERA is more used to it, to the team, etc. So this will be just as tough, because in theory, they probably are a better team that played us at the Etihad, as I say. The Palace have got used to VIERA and vice versa. So we will need to be at it, of course, we will. And I think we've got to avoid going a goal behind. It's never a good thing for City. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it usually spells a little bit of trouble for us. So we've got to try and avoid going a goal behind for sure, because that'll give the incentive to Palace and the fans, of course. I mean, the home 14 home league games there, they've only won 4, but they've drawn 6, and even a draw at this stage, as far as we're concerned, as far as City concerned, is going to be a big disappointment. Selhurst Park's not been a dodgy place to visit, as has been over past years. We've won our last 2 visits, of course. Before that, 1 win and 2 draws and a defeat. We're not exactly emphatic for City. So, as I say, again, you have lucky grounds, you have unlucky grounds, even though we have done very, very well overall. I say it's been a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't it? Of course, Palace and VIERA will be driven on by this opportunity to do the double over us for the first time since 1987-88, and that was in the 2nd division. Pep's team, let's have a look at City. What are we going to do? Yeah, defensively, the City team is picking itself. I believe Aki's almost back from his minor injury. I don't see Aki playing in this, though. He hopefully might make the bench. And, of course, we have to hope that Cancelo's back as well from his illness he got before the Sporting game. But fingers crossed he'll be back for this one. The interesting players on the fringe are possibly just Gundogan and Jesus, who perhaps may have put themselves in the frame for Pep on against Sporting. No one else who's not been getting that many games. Apparently, I mean, the young lads had a good run out, let's be fair, but they won't be starting this game, that's for sure. So Gundogan and Jesus might be interested. They get in, but I would doubt it. You have to think, based on the Sporting game, that Sterling's not going to play in this, and it's going to be Grealish. But we're talking Pepe, aren't we? So that sort of rest for Sterling in the last game. In the game before Sporting might have been Pep sort of geeing him up a little bit. Obviously against Sporting, he never really did anything to put himself into Pep's mind. So you have to think that Grealish could be the starter. So yeah, this is my 11. I'm going to give you my 11 with an okay Cancelo, as long as Cancelo's fine. I believe Cole Palmer's got a chance of coming back from injury as well, but I wouldn't see him in the starting 11. He'd probably be on the bench if he's fit enough to be on the bench. So I am going to go with exactly the same team that beat United. Obviously, Diaz will be out for a while yet. So I am going to go for the team that beat United. So this is based on Cancelo recovering, of course. And if he doesn't recover, if he's still a little bit poorly, then, because obviously it's not just the illness, is he? You've got to come back and train as well and be fully fit. Then Zinchenko is the obvious replacement. I'm sure Zinchenko's played a couple of times at Selhurst Park, I seem to remember. So this is my team. As I said, if Cancelo's not available, then just slot Zinchenko in. But I'm going to go Ederson, Walker, Stones, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, KDB, Bernardo, Grealish, Foden and Mahrez. So, as I said, the United team, so it's not rocket science. I'm hoping to get at least 10 of those. If I don't get at least 10 right, I'll be a little bit disappointed in that one, unless something happens we don't know about with injuries or stuff like that before Monday evening. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, guys. Do you agree with that team? Would you put Sterling in? Would you put Gundogan in? Would you get someone else in? Would you start Palmer? No, probably not. Oh, that's a bit of a silly thing. Would you start Sterling? He's the one, isn't he? Sterling, where he's just an enigma at the moment. It seems to be okay, and seems to have quickly gone back off the boil again. A little bit unfair. What do you think? Quirky stats before we go, guys. Crystal Palace have failed to score 6 of their 11 Premier League matches against City at Selhurst Park. That's 55%. Among sides who've faced at least 10 times at home, they have only failed to score in a higher percentage against United. 58%. So, we will hopefully we'll beat that if we can keep them out this game. That's 7 of 12. That was 7. 7 of that was 58%, 7 of 12 against United, where they failed to score. This will be City's first Monday match in the Premier League since September 2020 against Wolves, a 3-1 win. City, we've won each of our last 6 such matches, conceding just 1 goal in the process. Only 2 teams have ever won more games consecutively on Mondays in the Premier League. This is a good quirky. I like good quirky stats. Arsenal between April 2002 and May 2006 with 9, and United between December 2007 and April 2012 with 9 as well. Palace averaged 1.7 points per game at home under Patrick Vieira in the Premier League in 2021, compared to just 0.7 points per game away from home. Conversely, in 2022, they're averaging 0.25 points per game at home, not great, while picking up 1.8 points per game on the road. So that sort of bodes well as a stat, doesn't it? City, we are unbeaten in 13 away games in the Premier League since losing on the opening weekend, of course, against Spurs. We've won 11, drawn 2. We had the only time we had a long unbeaten run on the road in the competition was between February and December 2018, when we did 14. So let's carry that on, eh? City's Phil Foden has scored 11 goals in 16 appearances away from home in the Premier League since the start of 2021, with none of them coming from the penalty spot. Over the same period, the only player with more non-penalty goals away from home is a certain Mohamed Salah with 16, though the Egyptian has made 7 more appearances as well on the road in this span. City's KDB has assisted 7 goals against Palace in the Premier League, only registering more against Southampton with 8 in the competition. The Belgians' first ever appearance for City came at Selhurst Park in September 2015, coming off the bench in a 1-0 win under Manuel Pellegrini. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed those quirky stats there. Please tune back in and join me for the full match report. Of course, I am going down to Palace, so it will be Tuesday lunchtime when this is out, obviously depending on what time I get back and how long you have a lie-in, because I'll give myself a lie-in, that's for sure, after that trip, that jank down to Palace. So there will be a full match report on the Tuesday lunchtime with the player ratings, of course, from me and, of course, Manchester Evening News, just to make a comparison. Join me for that. Please don't forget to check out my History Boys feature and my odd show as well on this Crystal Palace game. Love to see you over there. I'm watching one of those. I see you virtually, don't I? I imagine you're there. I imagine I'm talking to you now, and I imagine you're watching my vlog. So please enjoy those if you can. And all your comments are very welcome. Let me know your team. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Yeah, give us your score predictions. I sometimes do one on the odd show, but I don't tend to put them on here. But as far as the score prediction for this, I'm not going to do one. We just need to win it. Simple as that. Whether it's a slutty goal or we stuff them, either way, it's just another game we have to win. They're all cup finals now, as Pep said. Anyway, thanks for watching. What we're going to do rest day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families, more importantly. Let's all look after each other. To meet here again on the Citizen channel. I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.